Welcome to another session on SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. My name is Ingvar Hegeford and I will be your host. Last time we created the tables and imported the data. So our next step for the sample data model is to create the entity relationship model. The entity relationship model is basically a representation of how the tables are connected to each other. It doesn't contain data. It's not something that you're going to use in SAP Analytics Cloud. It is simply helping you to define the relationship between tables and views once, so that when you, for example, create another view, you can simply reuse those definitions and you don't have to actually do it over and over again. So let's go into SAP Data Warehouse Cloud and create the relationship model for the data we have. So we go to the data builder, and remember we created our first space. We go and take a look. So these are the tables we created last time. So now we go to the entity relationship model area and say that we want to create a new one. On the left hand side, you can see all the tables we have. We also have the option to use sources. We'll come to that at a different time. So we're adding the sales order headers. And you can see on the right hand side, we have all the properties that we defined. But we also have additional options like adding a column, creating a view. We can create a brand new table if we want to. We can define the associations, create actually connections to entities that already have been connected to sales headers. We can open up the table and we can view the data. So there's lots of different options available here. But we want to create the connections to all the other tables. So we're also bringing in now the sales order details. And now we can start building the connections. So we go back to the sales headers. We connect it up to the sales order details. And then we have the option to define the joins. In our case, because we already defined the keys and the common names and so on, the connection is suggested. But if we want to, we could delete it and create a new one. Important, you will notice you're not defining the actual join type. That is as part of the views. So now we're going to bring in the product as well, and we go from sales order details to product. As you can see here, we're joining based on the product ID. So then we can bring in the customer and the city, and we basically can join those based on the sales order headers. And you can see each time you click on the join, actually the fields that represent the connection are being highlighted. We can also use the arrange button as you just saw. So kind of like it arranges the table on the screen that you have. So now we join from customer to city based on the city ID. We can also bring in the salesperson now. The salesperson is joined from the table customer. And then the only thing that is left is basically the product subcategory and the product category. So we're going from product to product subcategory and from product subcategory to product category. So now we have all our tables lined up and we defined the joins. So we created the relationship model here. We're just making sure that except the sales order headers and details are all configured as dimensions. And then we can save our model and we can deploy the model to our system. So we're saving the model and we're giving it a business name as well as a technical name. And after we saved it, we can deploy the model. So in the next session, we're going to make use of this entity relationship model and we'll start building our views. I want to say thank you for watching and listening.